What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Report, and welcome to the 12 Days of Anime. That's right, the 12 Days of Anime, where myself and many others among the anime community get together and share our favorite moments of 2016. And on the third day, I bring to you ReZero, episode 18. Man, this episode was not only the best episode of 2016, in my opinion, and many others, but it may very well be one of the best anime episodes of all time, especially for a series like ReZero that seemed to have come out of nowhere because there was a small, or maybe it was bigger than I thought, group of people who were up on the light novel, but a majority of us had no clue what this series was coming into it. And the way episode 18 came in and captivated us all by what it's done was definitely something that has been seen before, but maybe not quite like this. And I will say it again, it was my all-time favorite episode of 2016. So let's get down to it and let's talk about why. ReZero as a whole, and I've said this many times, was a series that at face value, you know, I thought it was going to be a series that I wasn't going to be too big on. I mean, just by reading the synopsis, it just seems like something that I heard before. In fact, we had a similar story already the season prior to it with the race. It was like, okay, kid goes back in time, kid goes to another world, something like that. You got time travel, you got things like that involved where he's going to go try to change the fate of everything by changing the past, future, or what have you. We just saw this with a race. I don't think this is going to do anything. And a matter of fact, it was one of those genres that me personally, I was kind of burned out on. It was the dungeon genre. When Sword Art Online came along, it's like a whole bunch of other things came out with it that was definitely much better than Sword Art. But I think as a whole, people were just burned out on the dungeon genre because you had Grimgar, you had Sword Art Online, you had Log Horizon, you got Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon, you had a couple of other things too. I think it was like an ecchi series, I forgot the name of it. I'm not going to try to remember it right now, but again, the dungeon and the whole video game type of genre, it just seems like it was getting worn legs. But ReZero came in and it showed that it was so much more than that. And it just kept getting better and better every episode. I mean, at first, I was hooked on it after that first episode. I mean, it came out the gate giving you an hour-long episode practically. But as it began to jump each bar that was in front of it, it seems like everything else that was compared to ReZero began to get blown out of the water, especially by episode 18, where this series started to flex its muscle, and the pain, the hurt, and everything that we went through in this series got its biggest payoff of all, with that touching moment with Rem and Subaru. This episode did something that not a lot of things can do in anime. Over half of this episode, I would say easily 18 minutes of this episode, and it was an extended episode on top of that, was all dialogue. In one sitting, in one spot, just two people pouring their hearts out to each other. And it was so masterfully done. It was so well done. It was so well written as these two professed their love for each other, their care for each other, their plans for the future, everything that they went through in the past. And after all of the physical, mental, and everything, all the torment that Subaru have went through in this entire series, to finally get that breather and to see that everything will be okay, at least for the time being, was just the biggest payoff of all. Now, to the average person who just tried to jump into this episode, or even some people that I know that just tried to watch it like episode 15 or 18, would see something like this and think, boring, why the hell are they just sitting there talking to each other like this? It wasn't about that. This episode was for everybody that stuck through. This episode was a reward for enduring Subaru's pain, for going through everything that Subaru has went through, because around episode 15, 16, people were ready to drop this series. I mean, what happened to Rem with Betelgeuse and seeing her being twisted like a pretzel, seeing her crawling in that decrepit state, giving her life of Subaru time and time and time again, to see Subaru finally breaking down mentally to all the things that he's seen, to the point where he was just a stupor, a crazy stupor, and what Betelgeuse brought to the table by even saying that you're acting, you're not crazy, you just want people to feel sorry for you. I mean, Subaru has went through so much as a character, and you know what? Subaru is probably the most flawed character in anime. But you know what? because he's such a flawed character is what makes him one of the greatest in anime. Yes, Subaru, with me and in everybody, it seems, he is going to be one of those characters that you will remember forever. He deserves to be there with Spike Spiegel, L, Kira, Goku, anybody that you can name, the Auric brothers. He is one of the greats. And ReZero, again, this series came through like a wrecking ball onto the anime community and extra place in our hearts. Even though it gave us a lot of torment first, I just cannot explain how masterful this episode was, because it is Subaru's flaws that made him what he is. And in this episode, he admitted to those flaws. How many times do you get that? I've gotten into spats with people about my opinion on Subaru because they thought I was bashing him as a character when I was saying, you're doing dumb shit, you're being stupid, stop acting like a madman, screaming and raving. But to see that he actually acknowledged that, to see that he said, you know what, maybe I am selfish, maybe I only care about myself, maybe I need to do more to try to help others, the type of things that he professed in episode 18, hands down, it was the evolution of the character. Subaru is not a fighter. He is not the strongest in this series. He's D-class compared to some of the other people in this series. But still, to see him grow more and more each episode was part of what makes ReZero so great. And of course, there's everybody's best girl, Rim, because the anime world has been split in two between best girl of Rim and Amelia. She got her time to shine in this episode as well, actually confessing that she loves Subaru. And Subaru's decision also tore the anime community in half because he straight up friend-zoned her. He was like, you know what? Thanks for giving your life for me. Thanks for dying about 6 times. Thanks for me dying and coming back to save you. You know, that's cool. Keep giving your life for me, but I don't love you. I love Amelia, and I know I was looking like, what the fuck, bro? Really? You cannot give in on this epitome of a ride-or-die chick. I don't know what it is about Amelia. Maybe it was just love at first sight. Maybe he really was that smitten. But to ignore this goddess that is next to him and everything that she's done for him, everybody's heart broke at the same time in that moment in the episode. But you know what? She still said, you know what? Even though you don't feel the same about me, I'm still going to protect you no matter what. I'm still going to be here for you, Subaru. Best moment in 2016, hands down, was this episode. I cannot praise this episode enough. For some reason, if you have not watched this episode, don't just jump to it and watch it. I mean, it'll be good. I mean, if you want to see some good writing, you want to see some good loving, definitely watch the episode, but you have to see where Subaru came from, where Rim came from, and seeing what they went through leading up to this episode for it to have the real effect. So, a series based on psychological, physical, and mental torture, with the occasional action showing up, gave us an episode with practically all dialogue. Again, it was 15 to 18 minutes of just straight dialogue in one spot. And it gave us one of the best episodes ever. And it was just so unexpected. And it's a feat that I've only seen a handful of times. In fact, the only time that I can really think of in particular that we've seen an episode take place with all the characters in one setting had to be Zetsu and No Tempest. And that was like a 3-episode run between the 3 central characters, basically having this mental and verbal chess match with each other to try to one-up each other. ReZero jumps another hurdle by doing it again by just having 2 characters standing eye to eye, face to face, hand to hand, with tears flowing in their eyes, confessing how they feel about each other, saying, I want to have a future with you. This is a future that I see with you. This is a future that we could have. It was at one point where Subaru, or I have to actually watch the episode again, but it was either Subaru or Rim was like, you know what? Let's just forget this world. Let's just run away together and just be together and just forget everything about it. Just be happy together. But of course, because of his love for Amelia, he couldn't do that. So that was pretty sad. But I can't clap for this episode enough. I can't praise this episode enough. ReZero, episode 18. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that's going to have this on one of their best moments of 2016. That's for sure. ReZero carving his way into everybody's top 10 of all time. I honestly believe that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. Definitely let me know what you thought of ReZero episode 18 in the comments. Let me know what some of your favorite moments of 2016 is, and I hope you guys are enjoying the 12 Days of Anime overall. And also be sure to check out some of the other people participating in the 12 Days of Anime as well. Links will be in the description for you to not only see how you can see other people like myself participate in this great event among the anime community, but there's also information for how you can join yourself if you would like to. It is a lot of fun, and I am proud to be participating in this year. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.